Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 7:30 on Saturday the 13th of November. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. It's a cold morning this morning. I'm surprised we didn't have ice on the car windows, but thankfully we didn't. Just looking across at the wooded end of the field where I cleared those leaves out last weekend, and look at that. There's millions of them. I'm going to have another go at that at some point over this weekend. It looks like it's not been touched. Loads of them. All the way up. And still quite a lot to come down actually. Don't see any big branches though, so that's quite good. But yeah, leaf collection again this weekend. See if we have time or not today, not quite sure. Also I need to do something with the bees. I need to do a couple of things with the bees actually, but I'll tell you about that once we get inside. So let me get opened up, do my normal chores with the... Oh, there's a woodpecker just flown across there. Green woodpecker. How nice is that? Yeah, get opened up, sort the chickens out, and I'll catch up with you shortly. Well, as usual, first things first, sort the chickens out. They're quite happy now, pecking around. They do love that mixed corn. Really cold this morning, sharp. Not expecting too many eggs this morning because I cleared out on the way home from work on Thursday night. Expecting some mess, of course. Which there is. Let's have a little look. Well, I've got nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. Nothing. Well, 5, I can't complain. It's nice and warm in here. So covering up that vent down there, I think I did that at the right time. Food and water, it's not too bad actually. I can probably sit until tomorrow. The mess can't, I'm going to have to clean that out today. But let's get in the cabin and get the coffee on the go. Well, good morning, it's the weekend. And it's a little bit cool. The forecast this weekend was for snow. And I did think yesterday it was going to come. I was sat at work looking out the window, and you know how you see that little whiteness in the air. I did think we were going to get some yesterday, but we didn't. And we haven't yet this morning. The sky is grey and it is cold, but I don't think it's coming today. Fingers crossed that we don't get any. I do not want to be trapping around here in the snow, that's for sure. The longer we can stave that off, the better. But if you can see the steam of the coffee in my breath, that'll tell you it is cool this morning. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're all staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. It's a crazy world out there. Difficult to know what to focus on really, there's that much going on. But I guess really the thing is, everything is available in the shops. Yes, there are lots of crises roaming around, but I wouldn't get too disheartened. It's easy, really easy, if you look at YouTube, to go into depression and anxiety mode. But I wouldn't do that. I would just focus on the fact that right now, today, Despite the best efforts of governments, corporations and people, it might seem like it's all going into crisis mode, but right now it isn't. And I guess the message really is, if everything's okay with you right now, then don't get into depression and anxiety about what might come, because you can do nothing physically yourself to stop it coming. All you can do really is to get yourself in the best position that you can to deal with whatever it is when it does come. So all of these constant messages about stocking up on food, trying to cut back on expenditure, save a little bit of money, they're all perfectly valid. But I wouldn't get depressed when you're doing that. I would, if anything, be the opposite. I would be excited and happy that you're doing it, because you are preparing yourself to be in a really good position when things do go wrong. So try to not look at too much at all of this doom and gloom and fear porn on the internet, because there's so much of it. Instead, accept that yes, things are going to get tough, particularly next year, but if we just do what we do and we keep topping up and we keep thinking and planning ahead, then that should put us in a really good position to deal with whatever it is that does come down the line. Here in the UK, I noticed at the petrol station yesterday, we're back to having pumps closed off. There is fuel available, so don't go out there panic buying. There's no need for that. But it is still evident that we do still have issues in the supply chain, and from time to time you might have to move to the other pump at the petrol station, or indeed you might need to move to another petrol station. Prices are shockingly bad. We had all of that big spike in gas and oil prices a couple of months ago. And corporations never let a crisis go to waste. I've said that endlessly in videos across the years. If they've got an excuse, they're going to bang up the prices, even when there isn't a crisis. If there's just talk of a crisis, they'll bang up the prices. And those prices don't come down. Once they're up, they're up. Same thing in the supermarkets. I've noticed quite a lot of price increases in the supermarkets. Don't be thinking that after Christmas they're going to go away and it'll go back to as it was before, because it won't. Once the price is up, it stays up. So do take advantage now, buy what you need now, and put that little bit extra aside. Lots of talk in the news this week about climate change. We've had that conference going on in the UK. Everybody's jumping up and down, saying that we need to do this, and we need to do this, and we need to do it now. Yeah, we do. But it doesn't matter how much people scream and shout, you can't just turn off the taps. I think I mentioned this in a recent video. All of the climate activists are getting all exercised about oil and gas production, and we've got to stop it today. No more oil and gas. Which, if we had the resource to flick a switch and go gas and oil free, we would, but we can't. That just doesn't exist. And for decades we're still going to be reliant on oil and gas, certainly for energy, until such times as we can find a viable and a affordable means of alternate production. You can build as many windmills as you like. They're never going to take over the full mains grid production. Never. Not in a million years. And they have their own environmental damage implications. It costs an awful lot in terms of energy use and material use to fabricate these windmills and to install them. Far, far more than it does burning coal, oil or gas right now. And they produce, in the big scheme of things, very, very little, a very small percentage of the power that's required. Similarly, solar here in the UK, over the last few years I have noticed. Indeed, I went to London just the other day to drop off one of my sons at the airport, and we drove past fields of solar panels. If we were in California or Saudi Arabia, where the sun just never stops shining, that would be great. But here in the UK, it isn't like that. And I know from my own small solar scheme here on the cabin, come the winter months, power production just drops through the floor, and you're there trying to eke by with the minimal amount of use possible to conserve what's in the battery. So we are stuck with oil gas as an energy source for the foreseeable future, until such times as technology catches up and we come up with an alternative. So to all those people who are exercised by this and are demanding that we turn the taps off now, just have a little think, because I'm sure that you rely on transport to get around, whether that's work, shop, school or whatever. Even if you're one of these righteous people who doesn't own a car on principle, I'm sure that you use some other kind of transport, train or bus or whatever, and they all run on fossil fuels. The electric that you use every day to survive comes from fossil fuels, and the things that you buy in the supermarkets and other shops to some degree is produced using oil. So you can't just turn the taps off, and it's foolish to think that you can. All you can try and do, as we should be doing as preppers, is to try and figure out the best alternative that will work for you and to try and work towards that goal. I know from my side, whether it's here in the cabin or whether it's at home, I am trying to work towards, in my case, it's solar. I'm trying to work towards that. It's a long-term ambition that eventually I'll be in a position where I don't need to pay a utility company to power my house. Ultimately, I want to do that myself for free. So yeah, kind of going a little bit off topic there, but do try and plan ahead. Forget the doom, gloom and fear porn that is everywhere around us. And sometimes I do sneak a little bit in my videos, but it's really just to get you moving and get you thinking, not to upset you or to have you living in fear. Everything is okay right now in terms of availability. Yes, price is going up, but if you buy it now, you'll save on the price increases next week, next month, next year. So yeah, don't be disheartened, don't be downtrodden by all of this. Just accept that you can only change what you can change in your own life and work towards that goal of improving yourself and your self-sustainability. In terms of what's happening down here, I've got the chickens to clear out. They do make a mess, but they do reward me at the same time. So even though it's a mucky job, I don't complain. I might be tempted to try and get the little red tractor out. It is wet underfoot, but I did have some success last week, so I'll try and repeat that, I think, at some point today. Nothing much to do in the garden. Those potatoes that I planted that have come through, I'm just looking at them now. I can see a little sign of a nip on one of the leaves. I'm hoping that they do continue and mature and produce something, but it is the wrong time of the year, and I don't really want to start heating the garden room right now. I'd much rather leave that till later in the season, and if I do heat, then I'm heating towards germinating seeds into the new year as an early start, rather than, I think it would be futile to try and heat now and grow stuff through this winter season. Got to walk before you can run, as they say. So that's the plan for that. In terms of the bees, there's a couple of jobs I want to do with the bees. I want to try and put some insulation around the hive. I have ordered something, but it hasn't arrived yet, so I can't be doing that this weekend. But what I can be doing is I can be putting some food for them. It's not raining, it's not windy right now, it is cold, but I think I'm tempted to pop across, take the roof off, have a little look inside, check that all is well. If I can see how much food they've got without raving out all of the frames, I'll do that. But the idea is, I was talking to my friend Simon, the beekeeper, and he suggested putting an empty super box, so my second box on top of the hive, but without the frames. And I've got some food in the cabinet here, in the cabin. Just pop that inside, pop a lid back on, and then the bees don't need to come outside to forage. They can find their way through the hive into that empty top box, have a little feed and take it back for all the friends. So that's the plan. So lots of little things to be thinking about and doing today, hopefully. And whatever it is I do get up to, I'll keep you posted as we go through the video today. Let me know what you're up to in the comments section. Always very keen to know what you're doing, what's happening in your part of the world. I know our American cousins, they had bad news this week. Inflation 6% now. This transitory inflation that was only very, very short, couple of weeks, couple of months. Lies. It's still here as we head into winter, and it's at record levels now. So sorry for that, American cousins. Do what you can, I guess, is the message, to try and get stocked up now before it goes even higher. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and well. As I say, let me know what you're doing in the comment section below, and I'll catch up with you later on as we go through the video. Well, it's a little bit wet, but we'll give it a run up the field, see if we can't get some of those leaves picked up. Well, just emptying out, it's picking up loads of leaves. I'm only driving over a very small area and the basket's full, but the leaves mixed with the sawdust and chicken manure that I take out of the chicken coop, and of course the grass that I'm cutting through the earth, it should really make some good quality compost for next year. So I'll keep pushing away. Chickens think that it's feeding time. They know it's the weekend and there'll be some greenery. I might do that now, actually, before I get the rest of these leaves picked up. Well, it wouldn't be the weekend without the greenery, so that's keeping the chickens happy. As usual, the little red ones hovering around my feet. They want special treatment. And to be fair, they usually get it. Anyway, I've got this tractor to sort out, get these leaves on the compost pile and keep pushing on. There's lots and lots to do out there with the leaves, and I haven't even looked at the bees yet. Well, here we are on leaf picking duty and there's a lot of them to pick, but Little Red Tractor's doing a sterling job. You can probably see I've done this patch here. It's the emptying that takes the time because there's so much of it, but we're plugging away slowly but surely and getting there. Slowly but surely we keep picking and tipping. It'll not be long before this compost pile's full. I'll have to start going into that one, I think, if I'm not careful. Well, we'll see. It should break down quickly. Well, slowly but surely we're getting there. It is taking, as usual, a lot longer, but we're almost done. Another 20 minutes, half an hour, should be done. Well, that's it, done. Really good job. I'm pleased with that. It does make a huge difference. I mean, clearly I'm going to get loads more leaves off the trees, but as long as I keep pushing on every so often and picking them up, because if I leave it and leave it and leave it all the way through the winter, I'll just not be able to pick it up. There'll be far too much for the tractor to cope with. So if I just keep doing it now, I know it seems a little bit OCD, but it is for a valid reason. It's not just for something to do. I'm just getting myself sorted out, ready to put this food into the beehive. It's like a little fondue, and essentially you take the plastic film off, leave it in the hive, and the bees have some food to feed on. So let me get myself sorted out, get the smoker up and running, and we'll be in business. Right, I've got everything ready. I've got a second super box. I've just taken the frames out, and I'll be popping that on top of the hive, and then popping the fondant food inside that. The bees are actually out and about. I can't see any around the door now, but they were out a few minutes ago. So there's a few foraging. Oh, there you go, there's one there, look. It is cold, but clearly it's not too cold. Or perhaps they're just hungry. Who knows? Until I open the hive up. So I'll pop this on the tripod and see if you can get a bit of a decent look inside. Right, here we go. I've no idea how well this will come out. And there is a bit of background noise, but hopefully you'll be able to see something on the video. Now they're still trying to put comb onto that roof. I'll take these bee escapes off the lid, and that way they'll be able to get through into the food that I'm putting into that top box. Must remember not to leave these behind. Let's take a quick peek, see what's going on. There's actually nothing in this super. It is stuck down now. Wow, there's a lot of bees in there. I don't really want to be taking these frames out if I can help it. there's an awful lot of activity around the centre, but not so much at the front and the back. So let me just quickly show you, see if you can see this. Hopefully you can. So there's a lot going on in the centre, a lot of bees there. They've certainly been producing this year. Hopefully you'll still be able to see that. So let's pop this back on. Come on. They don't want to go down. Come on, go down. All right. Okay. So the idea is we pop this new second super box on. I've already got a customer on here. Alright, so let me show you that. So I've got the new box on. I've put the food in, and the bees have now got these two little escape holes to come up through the frames into this new super box and then feed on that fondant. So I'll pop the roof back on, and I'll just keep an eye on this over the coming weeks. But hopefully they'll be happy now they've got that food. Well, there we go. You can see they are still coming out to forage. In fact, that one has got some pollen on its back legs, if you can see that or not. So they are collecting from somewhere, not quite sure where, but they do fly around, not just on my field, clearly. There's a few flowers left on those bramble bushes, blackberry bushes, but not a lot. But hopefully now they'll find that new food I've put in, and we'll have some happy bees through the winter. Well, that's everything put away, and the compost piles are full. I just gave the chickens some sunflower seeds as a bit of a treat, so they're quite happy. Everything's locked up. Time to get myself off. going to be a busy few weeks for me this next few weeks as I transition out of one job into another. Lots of work to do in the house as well. So apologies if the number of videos wobbles a little bit over the next few weeks. Hopefully you understand. Pleased I got the bees sorted out. I can rest a little bit easy now, knowing that even if we get some real harsh weather, they have got their own little food supply in there, so that's good. So I'll get myself in the car and off home. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend, and I'll catch up with you all shortly.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. What are you doing to prepare for the months ahead? Are you getting those little maintenance tasks out the way? Are you picking leaves up? Ready to compost for next year? And hopefully you're stocking away food and other essentials while it's still there and while it's still at the price. So look on the bright side, everything is still there. Take advantage of it now, because you never know when it might not be, and don't get too disheartened by the craziness that's around us. Let me know what you're up to in the comment section below, but for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.